ready yet to play against these big Titans. He's got 5 losses in a row. He's 1-1 in TVT. He has his 1 win in Terran versus Terran. So
yep, that is the matchup. He has won. But you know, anything could happen here. Cure is a great player, but he's no SOS. He's no Maru. Not yet.
Not yet. I mean, this is kind of, it feels like the wrong time to be putting out like the new players too, considering where Prime is and what they need at the moment. They really need wins.
Well, actually, they need Beyond.
They need, well, we don't know how good Beyond is. For all we know, SalvatioN is 10 times better than Beyond right now.
That's true. But they need the Beyond of old is, I guess, what I really mean to say.
Yeah, they need more players. And I find it really interesting, like, trying to figure out exactly what's going wrong with Prime. When you like think about it, like they're not getting any wins. They're not looking very good in their games. Like, are they practicing a lot? What are they doing? What's the team house like? What's their motivation? What's their morale like?
Yeah, well, the morale seems to be not so good, right?
It's like so many factors, and I mean, like, sure they don't have as much money as like KT or SKT, but there must be something going wrong.
Yeah, something definitely is a bit off today. So, not really sure exactly what the heart of the problem is here, but maybe SalvatioN could bring some hope, bring some light back here to put us at a 2-1 score before we go into the next match here. Let's jump into game number 3 on King Sejong Station.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
up here in the top left, in the red, SalvatioN playing for Prime.
And down at the bottom right, it's Cure for Generic Green Wings. 7-7. All he needs is one more 7 stat, and he'll be
goes to heaven.
Lucky. Maybe he'll just go.
He wins a bunch of money at the casino.
He just gets a coupon for 7-Eleven.
That's not that exciting.
It depends on how big the coupon is.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had a coupon where I never spend money at 7-Eleven again for the rest of my life, I'd find that to be very useful.
Well, it's cool, but I mean, what can you get from 7-Eleven that's going to be really good for you anyway? It's like cheap food, cheap drinks.
No, I mean, you just get like a water
cigarettes
here every now and then.
Alcohol.
Alcohol, yeah. I mean,
I think alcohol would be the biggest thing.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Sure, but I mean, like, compared to like a grocery store or something where you can get all your food, healthy food, and you're like, I don't know, your food that you live life off, feed your family with, that'd be much better. I'd like a sponsorship like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, you really took that really far. Like,
I'm sorry, guys.
You seem to be pretty anti convenience store, man. You seem you're pretty anti 7-Eleven, but
well, I mean, like I've had a lot of experiences with these convenience stores here in Korea, and some are good, some are questionable.
You know what what is not okay though is the guy at the 7-Eleven who's on his phone. And when I'm trying to, he's like texting, you know, he's texting. Either he's texting in the line and he's holding it up because he's not paying attention, doesn't put his stuff on the thing, or the guy at the cash register, he's on his phone and he tells me to hold on a second when I put my thing down because he has to finish his text.
Oh, something happened here.
Well, this is a good time to continue this story while we have some downtime here.
Yeah, what is going on?
I didn't see who left. Who left, actually?
The Genera player left.
So
this could be the win that Prime has been waiting for, guys.
we did see SalvatioN go in gas first. We'll have to see if he does that again in our rematch.
Well, I'm sure it's probably just going to be resumed from replay.
Okay.
Recovered.
Yeah, maybe. I wonder what exactly happened. Maybe the computer crashed.
Yeah, I think it's a computer crash. If I had to speculate.
The game crashed at least.
Maybe he did the wrong
looking
build
at
order.
the screen. He's logging in right now, like on the first person view.
Did the wrong build order and wanted to start again. It's like, wait, guys. Forgot to make the SCV.
So, anyways, since we have no idea what happened, the guy, he's on his cell phone at the cash register, and you know, he's on his cell phone. He asks me to wait. Okay, that's the worst. That's actually the worst.
That's
thing
actually so BM.
I'm like, you would be fired if I were your boss.
Yeah.
I've never actually had that happen to me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
This happens to me like almost daily. I go to the convenience store like probably about 3 times a day for various reasons, like getting water or like, you know, you need to charge my phone because you can do that in Korea. It's really convenient. You can actually just charge your phone for like $1. at the convenience store.
Yeah.
This happens to me from time to time. Because, I mean, I don't blame people. They got to be on their phone. I mean, they're bored. They're at work. But, I mean, when it's time to exchange the money, that's when you got to get off the phone. I don't care if your girlfriend's texting. You can text her back in 10 seconds after you take my 1,000 won and put my phone on the charger.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense. I can agree with that.
Do you have any convenience store gripes, Brennan? You have anything?
In small convenience stores, especially the one near is my. Oh, okay. My sound went out, so I didn't think it was going through. But the one near here, it's really small, and when there's a lot of people in there, it's like really stuffy. I don't like it.
Oh, okay.
But there's nothing like specifically with the staff or like.
I'm like asking you like a really
anything.
boring, uninteresting question.
Well, looking at this matchup, I mean,
we saw a gas first.
we saw gas. I think it was SalvatioN going gas first. So
Yeah.
obviously he
Yeah.
wanted to kind of be very aggressive.
Be the aggressor.
Get early Hellions out, maybe a Banshee. So he wanted to, yeah. And on Kingdom Station, I mean, you do generally see more greedy play from both players. So, maybe he's looking for something there, looking for a way in, trying to surprise surprise Cure, I guess. And hopefully Cure doesn't see the build order history or anything like that.
Yeah. Why do you think that? Well, there's no way he could see it, right? Well,
Yeah,
actually,
I
no.
didn't see.
Actually, when a game drops, can you?
No, I don't know.
Actually, here's the thing: he probably would not be allowed to, and there's a referee standing behind
Yeah,
him.
there's
Yeah.
someone watching his every move.
And it's like on his screen.
Team
there.
Rocket's
so like the
keeping it-
audience can like see him.
Yeah.
So I guess he shouldn't. He wouldn't.
Yeah,
do
he
that.
wouldn't do that.
Team Rocket's got a close eye on him.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that will be an issue. I think it will probably just be recovered. In fact, it may be being recovered as we speak.
Maybe.
We don't know, but
We don't have that Observer PC anymore.
Oh, I missed that PC.
It'll
so
be
much.
back when the World Cup is over,
when the World Cup
or
is
at least
over.
when Korea's part of the World Cup is over. I'm not
When we-
sure.
I was watching Netherlands versus Chile last night. Netherlands won 2-0.
Wow.
Yeah,
It was a pretty good game.
Netherlands is a great World Cup team. Really
Yeah.
like their keeper, man. He made when I first started watching the World Cup it was 2006.
The guy, Robben.
I'm
He's
bad
like
with
their
names.
head guy, always, in the front trying to score on the offense. He had a bunch of nice plays.
They made so many good plays when I was watching them in 2006, and the keeper had so many incredible saves that I was like, this guy's my guy. Like I never had a favorite like sports
He's
player
your
before,
boy.
but like at that time he was my boy, man.
Yeah.
And I was a fan of Netherlands back then.
What do you guys think about Spain this year? What's going on with that?
Something's going wrong with that, man.
I don't know. I just saw a bunch of people wearing Spain shirts in walking around the street. I don't know anything
Yeah.
else about it.
My friend had a number 9 jersey. I forget who that is. I used to know the name. I actually asked him, but
They've been taking some really unexpected losses, haven't they?
yep, they
Yeah.
lost twice, so they're not going to advance.
Wow, that's huge.
Yep.
I actually usually follow the World Cup really, really closely, but this is my first year to actually be like away from home during it, so it's like time zone ways really hard for me to watch, especially because I'm watching StarCraft like MLG and stuff usually
Yeah.
during that time zone.
Yeah.
It's usually at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
So let's take a look at our points ranking here. For Prime, they're all the way down at 95. And if they don't make it to the round 4 playoffs, it's impossible for them to make it to the final playoffs points-wise. And it's looking like, it's not going to be their season.
Can they? They just can't get there at this point, can they?
I think the big story actually is Samsung here.
Yeah, it's all about Samsung. They're like the team that's actually close. MVP's not going to do it. I don't think even Incredible Miracle is close enough to get into the top 4. It's going to be about Samsung. Can they actually get into the top 4? I don't know if they can because CJ Entis is doing so well this round as well. I think it's going to be impossible, actually, which is a big shame for them.
Yeah, I think it's impossible, but like with this sort of thing, it's usually something you don't want to say like with certainty, like, oh, they can't make it. But I think it's going to be very difficult with CJ having a 5-1 score, poised to actually be they're going to be in the finals most likely already for round 4 because they're going to skip the playoffs up to that point. So
I mean, you did see CJ lose a pretty amazing match yesterday, 3-0 to IM. So maybe they're not in a good place right now. Maybe we've seen the best of them this round, and
it's probably possible.
Could see some
now.
upsets coming into next week.
Totally possible.
I thought you said it's probably possible.
No, totally
probably probable. And I was like, what? That's why I gave you that.
Well, possibly possible and probably probable, like two things that somebody who talks on TV should probably possibly never say. So I'm going to take a look and see if I can get any more information. I'm not able to get any. So
they got producers in there as well.
Yeah, got some dramas going on in that booth.
So Moonji, man.
What's up, man?
You've been in Korea now back again for how many months now?
I think it's been almost. I know it's been 4 months at least.
Okay, so
4 months at least.
4 to 5 months.
Yeah, 4 to 5.
And how are you liking it back here?
I'm liking it a lot more this time because I'm here, kind of living here, like properly living here. Like when I was here last time, I was kind of in the Gum House, or I was like just here for like a week for WCG in Busan or something. So this time around, it's been a whole other experience, and I've been picking up a bit of Korean, and I've been really immersed a lot more than I've ever been before, and yeah, it's a really great experience.
Sure,
I'm actually really loving it here.
That's really good to hear, man. And you know, it's definitely like more comfortable to be in Korea, like as a caster a lot of time than being like a pro player that is like, you know, here for a certain brief period of time.
Yeah, it's certainly a lot less stressful when you have to kind of rely on winning.
Crowd agrees with Wolf there.
Oh yeah. yeah. It's nice to have kind of like a stable sort of income.
Yeah, you know the amount of stress put on every player.
There we go.
Everybody's happy. So anyways, as I was saying, I hate when that guy at the convenience store is on his cell phone, and I'm trying to buy it, and all right, let's get back to the game.
God.
Gas first here for Salvation. Cure does a more standard opening. Let's see if he drops a factory down right away. It looks to be that sort of opening. He could end up dropping a Reaper, and actually he does do the Reaper.
Yeah.
He's going to harass with his SCV too. Knowing it's a gas first, sometimes he can get away with that a little bit.
Yep, and very nice scout from Cure. Knows exactly the timing that's going on. If gas first, factory first. No, very fast factory before anything else.
Where's this SCV going?
Could be a starport, but maybe a misrally. We'll have to wait and see. Kind of going home
also,
now.
maybe like he thought about doing a proxy, then he reconsidered.
Maybe he's going to do it on the other side. Like
he could do it.
He could do it in like in a weird place. He could
think
actually do it like right there.
At the third would be actually really nice because that would just mean a Banshee just goes straight into the main.
Oh, and look at this. Maybe this is why he's doing it.
He's
just going to the
It was just a misrally.
No, I think he's actually going to hide something. I think this is no misrally. This is no coincidence.
Oh, you mean the bottom left?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about that SCV.
Yeah, I think he's going to hide something over here.
He's scouting, actually. He's scouting for any sort of proxies.
Oh, I thought that was a red SCV. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Well, Cure's being really, really, meticulous with the scouting. He sent the Reaper on the right side. He's got an SCV on the left side. He's literally scouting every single nook and cranny. And he's going to come in here and he's going to see the starport. So he's going to know nothing's...
When you see a gas burst like that, it could very well be a proxy Stargate. Oh, sorry, a starport, not a gate.
Yeah, even very like if you're playing a Protoss and he went gas before Gateway, like very high chance.
Yeah.
You're going to see a proxy Stargate, but
that Reaper is being so annoying.
He shows the cloak. I think he's still going to keep it though. He kind of really needs to. I think in this situation, cloak isn't as expensive as it used to be. With a new patch, it's at 150 gas now.
And it looks like it's going to be the kind of like the Hellion Banshee, very very fast. So Cure will have to play quite defensive early on. I wouldn't be surprised if we see turrets down very soon. Oh, Reaper going to get a scout.
Oh my god, this should not have happened.
Miss Micro, he actually sent the Marines down a step, and he's going to see it once again. He knows it's still going on. So pretty easy steps to take here for Cure. Just get an engineering bay, get some turrets up.
Vikings,
yeah,
at least one. Even if the cloak were still fake, because there's a small possibility that he started Caduceus Reactor or something for a second, after the Reaper got in. But it's just better to be safe here. Add the turrets, and based on what he's seen, this should be an easy hold. He's got enough Marines here near the turrets as well to make it tough for the Banshee to micro around and find a sweet spot. And the Viking is about to pop out, and we see a transition into Raven back at home for Salvation.
So straight into that mech kind of style. And it might be the same for Cure. I think this map is actually perfect for mech more than any other map.
I think it's great for it.
So much time, so hard to kind of find ways into the other enemy's base and pressure. Very easy third. There's really no reason not to.
Banshee gets one kill and will escape detection for now.
Yeah.
Energy's ticking down.
Is going to be followed by the Viking, of course. He's going to try to come in here and maybe snipe some Marines, no? flies pretty close. That Widowmine is going to hit one Hellion. Does some splash damage there as well.
Kills a Hellion and a half, you might say.
Yeah.
And, I mean, what it seems to be, actually, for Salvation is a follow-up with the Siege Tank push with Vikings and Marines. And all that Cure needs to do now is actually identify this. Targets an SB here. Doesn't get the Mule, though. But if he identifies that this push is coming, he's going to set up bunkers. And he may want to try to make a Siege Tank of his own. It looks like he's focused much more on the Hellions first right now.
Yeah, I mean, by the looks of things, Salvation kind of definitely securing that natural. Could very well add some pressure along with his Banshee. And from here, yeah, I mean, with the amount of Hellions coming out for Cure, he shouldn't have too much of a problem. He really needs to probably start making a lot more Vikings. He really wants that air superiority, because if he has that with the Banshee, like he's kind of in control, and he can really push the tanks back a lot easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if he can actually... Oh, well, this is a bit annoying. Let's say if he can delay this and maybe pick off some Marines, but this is a very scary push still. 2 Siege Tanks, a lot of Marines, no SCVs with this. I mean, this is not an all-in, it's just an aggressive timing attack.
Well, he's got 1 SCV there.
That can help him repair a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this actually could do some work here.
That Raven is so important right now. PDD can be quite helpful here.
Ooh, wow.
SCV getting the repair on the Viking keeps it alive.
Doesn't want to fly too close to that bunker, but does give just enough vision. It's unfortunate, though, that he can't quite get to the mineral line. And if without doing that, this is not something that Cure has to worry about immediately here.
Very aggressive with the sieging up here right at the bottom of the ramp. He's going to be taking out some of those SCVs that are repairing.
The bunker is certainly going to fall in just a moment here. Could actually perhaps even burst it with his Marines. Not sure if it would be worth it at this point, though, with all those Hellions up there. Bunker is down. Oh, he's stepping a bit too close, actually, to those Siege Tanks. I think he's overextended here. Target down on that Siege Tank with the Hellions. A splash damage cleans the Marines. And this looks like a done deal here. That Banshee is all that really is left. Salvation sieges up another Siege Tank at the back and actually forces SCVs off. I am mistaken. He's going to hold it his ground for a little bit longer and kill a few more SCVs.
I don't know why he brought the SCVs.
Cure is, yeah, he's kind of overreacting here, I think. Losing a bunch more SCVs there.
Shuts it down.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of damage there.
Yeah, now SCV-wise, it's 42-40, so Salvation still has that going for him. But he lost his expensive Siege Tanks, he lost his Marines, and he lost air control.
Definitely threw a lot away there. But, you know, supply is still pretty even. Have to wait and see if they're going to go to a third base anytime soon, because I feel like that's the next step. Yeah,
this game is going to almost reset a little bit with a pretty clear edge to Cure, but it's not a big enough advantage to where Salvation has to, like, you know, think about his next big risk he needs to take or anything like that. He's traded okay here because of the overreaction with the SCV pull, I would argue.
I definitely agree with that. But, I mean, we see a third CC go down for Salvation. Do we have one making at the moment for Cure? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, not for Cure.
So he might be wanting to actually make a 2-base move here.
Got a lot of Siege Tanks being made, 2 at a time, so he's going to have that Siege Tank advantage. You already had it earlier because of the Siege Tanks he destroyed. And this is going to get a little bit weird because they are going to miss each other here. The rocks are still up, obviously, so he's going to have some time to react. And with this spot, Salvation has to maybe decide if he wants to try to catch this army. His army's too small, but if he can siege up maybe, unexpectedly catch some of these units while they're walking, that could be good. Maybe up on top of this high ground over here, where his units are currently positioned. I think that would be a good choice. Get that controlled.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And we are seeing that Marine tank versus mech, which is kind of an interesting matchup. I think kind of favors the mech player a little bit more. Fire just not that useful against mass tanks.
The thing about that sort of discussion really comes down to oftentimes control and the mistakes of the mech player. Because even though it's not always the best composition, sometimes you can catch a mech player off guard with it.
Yep.
It's definitely not standard, though.
It's a lot more mobile than a mech, just pure mech, that's for sure. But at the same time, I mean, like, it's just not as strong and tanky, I guess. Tanks are a lot more efficient against the buyer.
Well, he's trying to move up onto this high ground I was talking about earlier. Marauders, 2 of them fall here. That's expensive. You know, he needs those.
A bit of extra damage there. Yeah, the air superiority for Cure is going to kind of tell the tale. But, I mean, this third base going down for Salvation, really giving him the edge. I feel like he should be dropping or doing some sort of counterattack while this siege goes off. And there we go. Yep. There's a drop to the third.
I was going to say he's doing exactly that.
Yeah.
But it looks like Kier wants to do some harass of his own. He's sending some Hellions near by that third base. Send those in, no wall.
Very important move there. If he can get the SCV kills he needs, it will really kind of reset the economy once again.
Blue Flame is done.
He's
5 Blue Flame Hellions. No defense over here. No bunker. He's coming from both sides.
He is keen to get a lot of kills here, man. Oh my goodness.
God.
He lines them up as well. No splitting. I'm like watching girls in the crowd like hold their faces in terror watching these SCVs die. 13 in total. Definitely resetting that. This drop over here, let's see how much it does. There's a lot of units nearby. I don't think it's going to get a whole lot done. He may be able to snipe the refinery, possibly.
No chance. Oh, wow. Could even see Vikings take that down, but this is a really good move from SalvatioN going to the other side, going to pressure that natural. If he gets a good tank siege up.
The rocks are still up, though.
Yeah. Oh, but SalvatioN sees it, I believe.
Yeah,
exactly what's going on.
Kier knows exactly what's up. He gets the first siege. He has the Vikings here. Those bio forces are attacking the Vikings. They actually get a lot of Viking kills, in fact. More than they should have. A bit of a micro mistake there by Kier.
And SalvatioN's actually got more tanks here. He's taking out the tanks in the front for Kier. He's taking out the refinery now. Going to limit that gas intake.
This is actually a really good spot right now for SalvatioN. He's actually just going to walk away. He doesn't need to do anything else here. He'll just move out. I mean, his composition in the late game is going to be arguably weaker, like you were talking about, Moonglade, but he keeps the tank count of his opponent very small. It's very expensive to replace. It was a really good trade for him. That's exactly what you want to do as the bio player in a situation like this. It's ideal. He also killed all the Vikings, which should not have happened.
That should not have happened, for sure. That's a huge deal, because it's going to make the sieging of the mech player so much harder, and it's so important to keep those medivac counts down at the same time.
And I love the fact that he's taking a fourth base here. He's got total map control. He's got Kier back in his base, making sensor towers, and he's just going to be able to get that fourth so easily, uncontested.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is the type of play that reminds me of, like, mech versus bio. We used to see it sometimes on, like, Dual Sight. I don't know if you guys remember that map.
I remember that map.
But it was always kind of like this. The bio player would, have a lot of tanks with his army, would have to go over to the third or the fourth base, pressure a little bit there, then move around the map positionally with that mobility, whereas the mech player would always kind of just sit back defensively. And usually the marine tank or the bio tank, which has become more standard in Heart of the Swarm, was the player that was always up a base because they needed to be trading their units against the mech army. They needed that extra money, and they had that mobility. And look at this. A switch to air can always really throw off a mech player when you've got air control and Banshees come into play and you don't have any Thors. It'll be a very big problem.
Yeah, we're seeing Kier focus mainly on getting his tanks out and his other units. He's only got 4 Vikings. He stopped at that.
Oh my god, 9 turrets or so up here in the main base, but not enough apparently. He sneaks right around the edge and is actually maybe going to snipe an armory. That would be huge. He targets down the plating and he will get it. There's no repair, not fast enough. And now actually he's going to kill a few more SCVs. I don't think he'll get the second one, but he's going to damage it. You know what? He may get a tank on his way out here.
Oh, that drop. He might lose the medevac. It's pretty close. It looks like he's going to drop down.
Can he hit the armory from the low ground?
He could.
Not if he doesn't have vision, though.
Yeah.
Not with that many units on the high ground, but a nice snipe nonetheless. That's great for him. That also means that the plating for Viking battles later on is going to be a little bit worse, especially when he's trying to go for air control. The Viking plating applies twice to Viking shots because it's 2 rockets, so that actually makes a lot of it could actually be a big game changer.
Yeah, man, we got so many star reports out for SalvatioN. I really, really like this tech switch, and it's exactly what Marine King was lacking in that game he played a couple of weeks ago now, with pure bio against mech. I feel like this is really the step you have to take once you have the economy advantage. You gotta make good use of it. You gotta kind of keep the Terran kind of reacting to all your drops while making that tech switch.
Very nice scan by Kier. He saw those starports, if I'm not mistaken, so he was making some Vikings. He's got 3 Thors on the way as well.
Now, BCs can be a really double-edged sword. They're quite powerful if not prepared for it, and if you can win the air battle. But if you put too much supply into the BCs, Vikings can kite them and then kill them and make them big paperweights. So he's got to be careful about how many battlecruisers he really commits to here. In small numbers, though, the Vikings, if they fight the battlecruisers straight up, the battlecruisers are going to tear them apart. They do so much DPS. Their air-to-ground damage actually was buffed back to where it was before it was nerfed in Wings of Liberty. So it's, like, I believe, 10. It's, like, pretty strong air-to-ground damage coming off of those BCs. So you want to avoid those. And Mech's not an army composition that's known for its mobility. Oh, he's going to try to
He's going for the armory again.
Yeah, but
It's flying right in there.
yeah, let's see if he can actually get in here. I think
Oh
he
my
actually will. And the
God.
armory is rebuilt at the same place. Okay, gets the first armory. That one's not researching anything right now, but it's going to be annoying for later. And actually, if he gets this plating upgrade again, that would hurt so much. And Cure is actually just not dealing with this. He's not responding at all. Okay, now sends me into the main. You can see on the mini-map, but he wants to commit with his main army straight for the throat here. And a big move back here now. He's got that air superiority. He has to lift, but a good siege up here. This is a great Terran versus Terran we're witnessing right now. The second armory, it looks like it has fallen on the mini-map, if I'm not mistaken. Hard to know.
No, the plating is still researching.
Oh, yeah,
so
you're right,
it's
you're
still-
right, yeah. Okay,
yeah,
no.
That one did live.
Yeah, and I mean, he has scouted out the massive air switch now from Salvation. So Cure going to have to put down some starports of his own. He puts down 2. Going to have to go into mass Viking production here to kind of counteract this. Putting down some turrets too. I really like that. And he has some Thors within too. So definitely adding against the mass Vikings we see. Oh, and Hellbats.
Hellbat's coming in here. Forces a big runaway there. He's brought some SCVs with him because he wants to get rid of those. And some of these SCVs, of course, can be useful for repair. Not so much on the Hellbats, generally speaking, but
He's actually just going into the main with that, but
good
these
pulls
will
here.
be cleaned up, yeah.
Now, Cure still, you know, only on 1 starport production. Finally starts to add those 2 as I say that. But he also has Widow Mines, and he's getting the burrow upgrade for that. We've seen this used a lot to deal with these air switches. If you burrow like 8 Widow Mines underneath the battle cruiser, you'll blow that up.
Oh, yeah. Very good at killing Vikings, too, especially if they're all bunched up. They can just wipe out them entirely.
Yeah.
Kind of like Mutas.
Like to make that Viking flower wither.
Oh, yeah.
We're seeing 3 Ghost Academies come down here. That's got to be for nukes.
Yep. Definitely so.
Nice pick off there, getting another tank.
Well,
Look at
this
this.
is a little few of these tanks here at the back. Oh man, this game is giving me chills. Okay, 4 siege tanks. Going to force a reaction here. He needs to send a little bit of bio. Sending a little bit of bio down here. And if there's not a quick reaction, he may be able to snipe his command. So there's still actually a decent amount of Marines in this comp. Let's see how he sends it. These BCs have actually been sent over here to deal with this, and they will actually be able to make quick work of those tanks. Even if the tank's on siege, they might actually die too fast. He does send enough mech over here to save this base, so he's losing some mining time. Actually losing a few of his units here. A few Thors may get picked off. They're in their anti-air mode, actually. Looks like, anyways. We don't really see that all too often in competitive play.
BC's finally cleaned up the last of the units over there. Looks like there were some turrets building, but eventually he's going to clean those up. He's sending a bunch more Hellbats over here, going for another push. That sensor tower does not see this.
Oh, but that Marine did, at least, so he's got an idea about this. Let's see how he decides to respond. He's going to send his Vikings over, and 1 BC actually not going to kill these Hellbats too quickly, so he's actually making a lot of ghosts with this too, getting ready for those nukes. He hasn't queued up any nukes as far as I can tell.
Yeah, this is
Ghosts
so
against
interesting.
Hellbat is kind of funny.
These ghosts could die too. Sees the ghost, so he kind of knows exactly what's going to go on here. It's like,
Well,
oh, okay, there's going to be nukes on the map, so he's going to be very careful of that.
This is one of my favorite maps for nukes because there's so many different locations where you can stand. Like, for example, where I was asking you earlier, Moonblade, about can he hit the armory from there? What if he nukes that location? You know, you kill a bunch of depots there. You can actually nuke from behind on the high ground above that base that's over on the left side of the map, that 4th base area.
There's a lot of ramps to kind of nuke from. A lot of
high ground vantage points.
High ground advantage points, yeah.
These Widow Mines are...
YOLO mines.
Yeah, those are YOLO mines now.
Not doing much. Ooh, see an engagement.
PDDs being placed.
And we do see mass Ravens being made by Kua now. This is a great transition.
Yeah, he's got Ravens and DCs, and he's going to come in for the fight. Cure's got some PDDs of his own, but they're going to go down soon.
All right, Yamato cannon actually queued up here on some of these ground units. The anti-air Thor is repaired and actually does survive here. And there's a lot of Vikings to support. Those Ravens being targeted here. Seeker missiles queued up. They will fall to their deaths, though. Well, I guess to their demise.
Oh, wow.
They're not alive.
He never dealt with this big tank push over here. He's not even repairing the planetary. He's not even mining from this. There he goes with the repair.
Oh my god, literally last second. I don't think it was intentional, but if it was, like...
And he actually just gets it anyway.
What do you guys think about adding a few Banshees in here for just mobility of being able to deal with the siege tanks? 2 Banshees would have made quick work of that, force some Vikings to go over there to protect the tanks.
Banshees could be good, but I mean, they're so worried about the air war right now. So many Vikings, so many Ravens being made, and Ghosts with nukes. A lot of gas is being put into this kind of dealing with that army. So I kind of understand why we haven't seen any Banshees just yet. Maybe when one player kind of wins the air war, he will transition to kind of take advantage of it, but might be too soon.
This is actually great that he's been able to escape with this bio. Most everything else has been kind of locked down for a while by that tank army. And with all this bio on the ground, he's got not enough DPS on the ground to actually fight this. He's got only Vikings and Ravens. PDD's not going to last forever. Don't ask a Zerg player that question, but I mean, like, generally speaking, they don't last forever against this many Marauders. He does clean it up, but he loses his entire siege tank force.
Yeah, he lost 5 tanks there, and now he's got to remake 3 at a time here. A nuke is going down here at the natural. I'm not sure if he's aware of that right now. Not pulling any of his SCVs at least.
Gonna lose a few SCVs and a turret or 2.
Yeah.
And the refinery, of course. Small victory here. I mean, it doesn't cost him too much to do things like that. Bank and gas is a problem for both players, but much more a problem for Cure with the composition he's decided to go for here. He's got no bio upgrades. It's impossible for him to switch up his tech here. He's got to stick with his Viking siege tank Raven. And, of course, a few Thors.
Oh, another nuke.
This one, I mean, I guess a nuke and a center tower's cost are comparable, but he's forcing there to be no gas there.
You see an engagement down here near the 5th. Something died.
Hero Ghost is like, no Banshees? I'll take all of you on. Drop an auto turtle, cloak and run away.
He actually never cleaned up that one last Hellion over there. It's still there.
Yeah, it looks like he wanted to make a bunker to send some Marauders maybe to put into for defense. Now, this location is like the place I've been waiting for nukes to happen. I'm not sure why we haven't seen that yet.
It's actually so easy to nuke, though. You can just nuke from the high ground behind the base, and you can get every SCV.
I think he's sending this one.
Yeah,
he heard you guys talking about this. He's going to go for that.
I think that's why the Korean observer, is like, set up that location for viewing because he's waiting for it too. I mean, this is the prime location for nuclear missiles.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's going to walk right into the sensor tower, but still. Units will have to be moved here. He's going to have to... I don't think he can kill that Ghost.
That's so cool, that little ledge there. He's putting 2 nukes at a time. He's going to kill that whole turret ring as well. And a nuke going down on those tanks as well.
Oh, he has to cancel it. That would have been huge. We'll kill another refinery, but the SCVs are evacuated. Turret ring is cleared. You guys can see it on the mini-map. Now, I'm really concerned for Cure. He has built a big gas bank now, but he just doesn't have much control over the game. He's kind of stuck with that army in the middle of the map. It's just, if he moves it, he loses everything. He loses his position, but if he doesn't move it, he's got some serious issues.
Yeah, we're seeing kind of a switch back into bio, a lot more ground presence for Salvation, which is going to be a big problem if we see a lot more counterattacks like we are now. And he can very well get this base down here, or at least cancel
He's
the
sending
CC.
Vikings and Ravens with seeker missiles to defend his bases. It's not ideal.
Oh boy.
Nice hit.
Big hit going to do a lot of
Oh no, he's not paying attention here though. He was so focused on his seeker missiles, he's going to lose his refinery, and he's going to lose a lot of SCVs.
Oh boy.
Every single one of them goes down. 18 kills on that Ghost. And these siege tanks will be cleared. And because he sent his entire force of Vikings back, he doesn't actually have to worry about that center base anymore. He knows the Vikings are out of position. He could send his BCs over to kill the tanks.
I'm actually really surprised we're not seeing Kua kind of like go with the tanks to the top right here and kind of support them, because we keep seeing these the air from Salvation transition rotate up there, and if he can catch them out, he has the stronger air army. If he kills them all, he'll be a lot more safer to kind of transition back into tanks, into the ground, and deal with all this bio that's coming out.
This has been a great game, and I have to say, both of these players are playing it so well. I'm very impressed with Salvation's ability to play against mech with Biotank this long. He's transitioned very well, much better than Marine King did the other day. This is the kind of transition you were talking about, Moonglade, where you try to get that air lead, and then you're able to still make your bio pretty viable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Salvation definitely impressing with this game, showing some really, really good TVT so far.
Good multitasking with the ghosts, the nukes.
Oh,
I mean,
see some air engagement.
It seems to be that Curious is not as comfortable in the late game
look at that spread.
Oh my god. It's like a surround of Vikings. Splits here are decent.
No, the Seeker missiles hit.
He's killing the siege tanks on the ground. That's what's important here. And more Seeker missiles are queued.
So many Seeker missiles.
So hard to
look
avoid
at that
these.
spread. Oh, that one was a big one. Hit a ton of Vikings over there.
I think that was like the best spread we've ever seen in a TBT, by the way. Competitive matches, like, damn. This is actually a lot of DPS on those battle cruisers. He's going to have to start kiting. I think he's going to have to start kiting. Let's see. I mean,
that Seeker missile. That Seeker missile.
Oh, those Seeker missiles do go off. The bio's coming down here, though.
This is the big problem. Look at all that bio. And he doesn't really have enough tanks to deal with it. Or out of position completely. And he could lose his base. It's just kind of like the one base he needs to
He actually might have to land his Vikings here.
Big news went down as well. A ton of SCVs that went down as well. He's going to get that planetary and just back off.
Gets the SCVs. The synergy with this push is beautiful because the nuke even damages the planetary further. Now he's coming over here. He's going to pick off a sensor tower at least. And these Vikings are just not, they're not worth anything anymore.
Yep.
We've moved beyond that air part of the game. Until he adds his own fusion core and his own banshees in the mix, they're not protecting or accomplishing anything right now.
Yeah, exactly right. At this point, they're just giant paperweights. I mean, they do stop any sort of medivacs kind of being a nuisance, healing up the bio. Oh, another nuke go down, but no.
Clumsy ghost over there.
Clumsy ghost.
He was never meant to be an assassin. I think that might have been the ghost that got the most kills. That was killing the planetary earlier. That's a sad end to his life for what he'd accomplished.
Yeah. Seeing a bunch more medevacs being added into the mix for Salvation is going to help heal up his bio, and I would love to see some drops near that area where he killed those turret rings. Could definitely go into the main and kill some of that production.
Sure, it's always a risk though with this many Vikings in the air.
Yep,
if you avoid the Vikings, it's great, but if you can't,
free CC.
Wow, man, Cure is in so much trouble right now. He's got no control. This game is in Salvation's hands. The map is owned by him, and he's got a title to this map right now. This is a very interesting way to kill a turret. One of the most expensive ways to snipe a turret, but I think he might have gotten a Widow Mine on the ground next to it too. I'm not sure what that was, but something else did blow up.
And here's that drop I was talking about. He's going to go for it. Cleared that turret ring, but Cure sees this.
If they unload first, no, it's not going to happen.
Boy. Yeah, they got blown up pretty quickly there.
Yep, and Cure taking the supply lead again.
He's going to nuke this base. He scans. Look at these 4 scans.
Wow.
I'd like to see just 1 or 2 Hellions up here and a turret. That would shut this down so hard.
Just a tank in the mineral line. So you see nuke go down there. You just scan above. Oh,
here's the nuke.
He's got to be watching it. Yeah, he sends units over. This should not actually land. Yep.
Oh, we're going to see a scan.
The Korean commenters think he don't know, but I think he knows.
He knows. He pulls.
Yeah, gets that refinery.
Refinery's so important at the moment.
Yeah, look at his gas right now, 47. And this gas is going to be pressured over here as well.
The gas is the most important resource right now for the meching player. Cure needs to be as cost efficient as possible right now while he rebuilds his army. He's already got a better max, or he's closer to max right now than his Salvation, but it doesn't really matter if he runs out of money and Salvation just keeps trading with him. Sees it again here. Sends those Hellions. This is exactly what I was talking about. 2 Hellions will easily do the trick.
Well,
he evacuates, but it's not going to go off, I don't think.
It's going to go up.
No, it is. There it goes.
Barely gets
finally that. Again.
Yeah.
And a nuke was coming in here, but a big stem up. He's going to get this planetary in the middle as well. It's such a key base for Cure right now.
Cure is Salvation is playing so well right now. This is the win. This is the momentum Prime needs. He's playing so well right now. He's just going to engage this. I don't know about that, though, with this many PDDs. Needs to actually get those tanks out of here. Those tanks are going to come over here and, I guess, just do tank mode harassment. Can be actually effective.
Tank things. Just tank things.
Hashtag.
Coming over here. Yeah. And it's going to force a lift at this base. So Cure has grabbed a little bit of momentum for himself here. He's going to move a big chunk of his army towards that 5th base, but there's a lot of bio here. He's got to siege up.
Whoa, gets 4 free tanks there. But yeah, I mean, like, Cure's army is way more cost efficient if set up correctly and in position. But I mean, if caught out, these bio will just kill everything. So he's going to be so careful with it. Such a slow army to look after.
Well, let's take an assessment of where we're at right now in the game. mining bases. There's still a lot of gas left for Cure. Not okay. Hold that thought. I guess we're going to skip my assessment. We're going to go right into the Seeker Missile foray here. Great splitting here by Cure.
Oh my God!
Huge hit on
Not
those
the
Vikings.
best splitting at all. He actually gets huge hits with the Seeker missiles, and a ton of bios left over.
That's game. That's game. He split at first, but then he stacked them again at the end. Why did he stack them?
He tried to split, but then he stacked all of the Vikings together in 2 groups, and everything blew up.
He had a beautiful split in the beginning, and then he just right-clicked too many times or something. I'm not sure, but...
Well, I think he saw like every single tank he had a Seeker missile on it too, so he like panicked and freaked out.
GG.
SalvatioN has won his 2nd game.
A beautiful game by Salvation. Now 2-1 in Terran versus Terran. And a great game. Insane multitasking. Great nuclear missile play. We talked about, you know, how if you're a young player, sometimes you get nervous, but he certainly did not.
Oh, he didn't
He played
look
like
nervous
a
at all
champion in that game.
That was a nice game. That was awesome to watch. He's finally showed us like the reason why he's continued to be put out here time and time again. He definitely has a huge amount of skill, and I'm going to be so pumped to see his next game.
Oh, he looks so happy, so relieved.
Put him out in the Ace versus Maru. I'm not joking.
Yeah,
Put
I'm
him
actually
out.
not joking. I would put him out.
If we do go to that Ace match, I believe it's on Frost. No, it's on Outboxer. Frost will be the next map for Zerg versus Zerg.
Nice.
This is crazy. It's going to be Cassia versus Rogue. He's actually giving Cassia the chance to bring this into the Ace match now with that
Could
game.
happen. This is a really important match for Jin Air for their playoff spot. If they want it, they basically have to win today.
Dinner players were kind of like laughing at Kier, I guess, about that not so good split.
Yeah, I mean, who's to blame him for that sort of like crazy, I mean, just bad happenstance there, like at the end, you know, like he panics. He's got so many Seeker missiles on him.
Yeah.
When you are queuing 8 Seeker missiles plus, and your opponent is doing the same, it's so difficult to react to micro. It's one of the most crazy situations micro-wise that exists in StarCraft 2. It's harder than like, you know, you and your opponent are both doing Blink Stalker with Immortal fights. You get to tell you have to target the Immortals and also blink your Stalkers back. It's like even harder than that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like another situation in micro in StarCraft 2. It's harder in a mirror matchup, but I just don't think there is. That's like
there was just like too many things going on in that battle. Like you couldn't handle all of it.
Yeah, and he was kind of caught really out of position with these tanks. Like I'm pretty sure there was no way he was going to like win that fight unless he was sieged up before it actually began. And the Seeker missile just kind of was the icing on the cake, and all that bio just came in after it, cleaned up.
Really good positioning, really good, you know, forcing into that battle by Salvation. Everybody here is so proud of him, actually, like so happy to see him finally succeeding. He looks really happy himself as well.
I am just, that game makes me so happy. So happy.
That's a good way to put it.
It's a great game.